Midnight Game. The midnight game is an old pagan ritual, used mainly as punishment for those who have broken the laws of the pagan religion in question. While it was mainly used as a scare tactic to not disobey the gods, there is still a very existent chance of death to those who play the midnight game. There's an even higher chance of permanent mental scarring. It is highly recommended that you do not play the midnight game. However, for those few thrill seekers searching for a rush, or those delving into obscure occult rituals, these are simple instructions on how to play. Do so at your own risk. Instructions. Prerequisites. It must be exactly 12 a.m. when you begin performing the ritual. Otherwise, it will not work. Materials. You will need a candle, a piece of paper, a writing implement, matches or a lighter, salt, a wooden door, and at least one drop of your own blood. If you are playing with multiple people, they will need their own of the aforementioned materials, and they will have to perform the steps below accordingly. Step 1. Write your full name, first, middle, and last, on the piece of paper. Put at least one drop of blood on the paper. Allow it to soak into the paper. Step 2. Turn off all of the lights in the place you are doing this. Go to your wooden door and place the paper with your name on it in front of the door. Now, take out the candle and light it. Place it on top of the paper. Step 3. Knock on the door 22 times. The hour must be 12 a.m. upon the final knock. Then, open the door, blow out the candle, and close the door. You have just allowed the Midnight Man to enter your house. Step 4. Immediately relight your candle. This is where the game begins. You must now lurk around your now completely dark house with the lit candle in your hand. The goal is to avoid the Midnight Man at all costs until 3:33 a.m. Should your candle ever go out, that means the Midnight Man is near you. You must relight your candle in the next 10 seconds. If you are not successful in doing this, you must then immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. If you are unsuccessful in both of your actions, the Midnight Man will create a hallucination of your greatest fear and rip out your organs, one by one. You will feel it, but you will be unable to react. If you are successful in creating the circle of salt, you must remain there until 3:33 a.m. If you are successful in relighting your candle, you may proceed with the game. You must continue to 3:33 a.m. without being attacked by the Midnight Man, or being trapped inside the circle of salt, to win the midnight game. The Midnight Man will leave your house at 3:33 a.m. and you will be safe to proceed with your morning. Addition. Indications that you are near the Midnight Man will include sudden drop in temperature, seeing a pure black humanoid figure through the darkness, and hearing very soft whispering coming from an indiscernible source. If you experience any of these, it is advised that you leave the area to avoid the Midnight Man. Do not turn any of the lights on during the midnight game. Do not use a flashlight during the midnight game. Do not go to sleep during the midnight game. Do not attempt to use another person's blood on your name. Do not use a lighter as a substitute for a candle. It will not work. And definitely do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man in any way. Even when the game is over, he will always be watching you. Good luck. You're going to need it. Alright, so that was Midnight Game. It is a ritual pasta, and I'm not a huge fan of ritual pastas, but for my first ritual pasta that I've done, and also my first review, I thought it was a pretty good choice. First of all, I want to rate it on originality. I thought it was pretty original, although apparently, it's supposedly an old pagan ritual, so maybe it's not that original because it's been going on for years. Either that, or somebody said that it's been going on for years for effect. I don't know the answer to that. You guys can be the decider of that, but on originality, I kind of rate it kind of low since it's an old pagan ritual. I would rate it like a 3 out of 10. For creativity, I would give it a similar rating. We'll go with 4 out of 10. There's a lot of ritual pastas out there, and this one is just straight to the point. This is what you have to have, this is what you do, and this is what happens, and this is when it's over. This is how you win. And I thought it was semi-creative compared to other ritual pastas, almost just because how can I word it? They didn't go overboard in doing the ritual. You don't have to have a million objects. You just have to have a few objects. You have to do it at a certain time, and then boom, it's scary, it's creepy, I think it's pretty creative in that aspect. As for the length, I am always happier, not always, but most of the time happier with a shorter pasta, and I think especially for a ritual, if somebody's going to actually try it, you want it to be really as short as possible, because who's going to go try something that lasts forever? I mean, technically, it takes you 3 hours to do this, but, it doesn't take that long to get ready for it. You only need a few things, and so for length, I thought it was a pretty good length for the pasta. My overall rating, like I said, I'm not a big fan of ritual pastas, but for this one, I thought it was pretty good. If I was going to try some kind of a ritual, maybe this would be something that I would try because it's easy and you don't need a million objects. You do need a drop of blood, but that's, you can prick your finger pretty easily and get 1 drop of blood. It's not asking for a dead cat's head or something ridiculous like that. So, as far as overall rating, You know, for a ritual pasta, I would have to rate it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good ritual pasta. Not a big fan of ritual pastas, but if I was going to try one, this would be one that I would at least give some thought to. And so that's my review of this pasta. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments below. You know, if you like this, then click like. If you want to see more videos like it, then subscribe. And leave some comments. Let me know what pastas y'all want me to review next. This is SpookySpaghettiWV, and this has been Spooks Reviews, creepypastas. Have a spooky night.